dreaming. Go ahead and start streaming. Go ahead and start streaming. Streaming, dreaming. Streaming of a dream. Dreaming of a stream. Oh man, what up y'all? We up in this thing. Give me a second. Let me get with y'all. This is gonna be a super deep tutorial, so get your popcorn. Streaming of a dream. Streaming, dreaming. Dreaming of a stream. If you are just tuning in, I'm here. Just checking my mics and everything, making sure that this boy is good. And we're ready to go. We actually won't be using a mini on this joint. On this tutorial. I'll be using it, but I won't be playing any sounds from the joint. But I'm sure this will be very educational for you guys. I bust 600 followers wide open this week. I appreciate that. Last time I checked, I got 604. So that's dope. That's all because of you guys. Because y'all are awesome. Let me check my live stream and make sure I'm actually streaming. Yes, I am. Cool. Let me make sure everything's in order here. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bip. So we've been streaming for like 2 minutes. Checking my chat room. Seeing if any of my followers are here. I'm gonna throw a quick Instagram up for y'all. Throw a quick tweet up so y'all can come on in. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bip. So you want to be a producer, huh? Oh man. How much are you willing to sacrifice? That's the question. How much are you willing to sacrifice? This tutorial, when I dropped this same product with the Akai MPK Mini, the original, I think it's my most popular video, and I got requested to do one for the MK2 the other day. on Instagram by a cool cat by the name of William Center. He's a good guy. I don't know where he's from, but he follows me on YouTube and Instagram from a couple videos ago, and he grabbed a couple of my free drum kits on my selfie page. That's selfie.com/Brulluh, SELLFY. There should be a card that pops up on this video where you can click on my drum kits. So I got some free ones, and I got some ones that are not so free. You know what I'm saying? Alright, looks like everything is fine. Let me close out all these extra windows that I don't need. I got some crap that's flowing that I don't need. Bing, 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 bing. I actually need to open the Akai MPK mini editor. Cool. Got that opened up. Make sure my broadcast is smooth. Won't be needing any audio from my system on this one. So let me close my backdrop picture and get the actual editor up. Picture, actual editor. It looks the exact same. Kids, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay. Okay, I gotta get started. Let me log into my chat real quick so I can talk to y'all, cause y'all be liking to be talked to. 55 degrees in Chicago today. This morning we were like, oh snap. Yesterday was 88. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday it was 88. Today is 55. For some reason, I'm not logging into my chat. I'm trying to log in. Hopefully, my internet is not tripping. If it is, I'm gonna have to start this over. Cool, it looks like I'm rocking with the beat knocking. My login's just kind of slow because I'm using my bandwidth to stream right now, and that's cooler than a fan. That's cooler than Jackie Chan with a ninja fan up in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. Got the Akai MPK miniature up. Did I say miniature? Akai mini. I'm tongue twisted, man. I'm tongue twisted today. Akai MPK mini editor. That's what I'm trying to say. I need to get my speech together because I know I'm talking to people all over the world. I've been hit up this week by Scotland, France, Russia, the Middle East, all different types of places, and so I need to make sure that my English is on point, because if my English is not on point, what's the use, bro? What's the use? Somebody tell me what's the use. Alright. Still trying to log into my chat, if y'all bear with me. If you've been down with my tutorials since day one, you already know how bland my tutorials are. So don't get brand new. Don't act brand new. Alright, that's the wrong video. Not trying to load a video. I'm trying to load my live stream. Am I live streaming? I should be live streaming. Looks like I'm live streaming. Maybe there's lag. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then I'll try to log into the chat later. So we won't be chatting, guys. Sorry, not for the not for the early part of this. Not for the early part of this. You gotta put your heart in this, like a hippopotamus. As y'all can tell, I feel a little silly today. Don't trip on me. Don't trip. Don't trip. Don't act like you didn't know what it is and what it was. Alright, cool. Been on for 10 minutes. Haven't covered anything yet. Sorry about that. Just making sure everything's right before I get started, because I don't want to go in. Y'all know how deep I can go and be in for a minute and things not be right. Alright, want to make sure everything's right. Let me take a look at my screen. Woo! Alright, cool. Let me see if I can get into the live chat one more time for you guys. And it looks like my stream is not popping up yet. That's okay. I think something's wrong with one of my settings. I'm going to close this out, bro. For y'all, if you're watching, please log back on to the next chat. I'm gonna do this on a second take, okay? I'm going to stop streaming right now because something's going on with the chat, and I want to make sure that it's right. Alright, I'll be right back. Right. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check out my CPU. My CPU is good to go, and this is how we do. Check out my CPU. 1 2. Alright, stream is resumed. Good to go. I'm not sure if I'm picking up from where I left off or whether this is a new stream, but I had to start the stream over because I was having some tech diff. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Technical Difficult. That's what was going on. So once again, I can log into my chat now. Cool. Cool. Alright, so now that I'm logged into the chat, you guys can holler back. And I can converse with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on a live chat, let's get a roll call and let me know where you're from, and I'll give you some light conversation while I'm trying to break down this deep topic. Sorry for clearing my throat on that. I know that causes distortion on the audio, on the video. Apologies. I try to keep that down to a minimum. Alright, so like I said on the last video, if you weren't logged in, I bust 600 subscribers wide open this week. I have 604 right now. Gave away a bundle of samples for my 1000th subscriber. I'm going to put together something real nice. Something real nice. I don't know, man. It would be dope if I gave away a mini, right? But then that would kind of defeat the purpose because everybody that watches my videos pretty much have one already. But yeah. So maybe I'll give away some software or something. I don't know. You guys give me some suggestions in the comment of the video. Okay, what should I give the 1000th subscriber to my channel? Once I hit 1000, then I can really start loosening up. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of tight right now. I'm kind of tight right now with y'all 600. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative though. I'm super appreciative. That's why I do these free videos. Alright, so what are we doing? We're doing something super deep right now. super deep, so y'all need to put your nerd caps on, and let's go. So what are you guys looking at? You looking at the Akai Professional MPK Mini Editor. This is the beast that so many people had such a hard. This is like the original Akai MPK Mini Editor video is my most popular video. I have over 100,000 views on that video, and so I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be popular as well. But this video was requested by one of my Instagram/Facebook followers, William. What up? He's been following me, I guess, for a couple weeks, maybe a couple days, I don't know, but he's a cool guy. Follow me on Instagram, grabbed a couple of my free sample packs, and yeah, my sample packs are on selfie.com/brother. That's SELLFY.com/brother. 2 L's, SELLFY.com/brother. You know how to spell brother, right? You already on the channel. Just look at my YouTube. Alright, so let me pay a couple bills real quick. Just dropped a new single. It's called Chicken in That Bread. Chicken in That Bread. It's on iTunes and Google Play for you Android users. I don't know you Android users. I'm team iPhone all day. But yeah, Chicken in That Bread. Hot, dope drum kit on that joint. Hot, dope synthesizer. It's crazy. Already dropped a link to my drum kits and sample packs. If you are watching my videos, please let the advertiser videos play all the way through, and go so far as to click on their links, because they're paying to advertise on my videos, and it helps a lot when you pay attention to the advertising on the videos. Okay, so sorry, gotta clear the throat. Once again, you guys are back for another tutorial. And I don't know why y'all keep coming back, because I know that I'm bland. I know that I'm boring. I think it's the fact that I'm so detailed. I need to clear my throat again. Let me pause the mic real quick. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so I just know I need to mute the mic when I get ready to clear my throat, because I know that it's going to cause the mic to pop. Alright, so bottom left hand corner, y'all see my mini with my little joystick. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of trippy today. Don't do drugs, kid. Drugs are bad. Okay? Oh man, I should say don't watch South Park. But you guys are looking at the Akai MPK Mini Editor. Not sure if I'm repeating myself, but this is the beast of a program, and I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. I'm going to attempt to make this as simple as possible, but it is very, very, very complex. But I don't want you to focus on the complex part. Just focus on the sound of my voice, like I'm doing the operation, and I'm about to calm you down and just get ready to go under the anesthesia. And I'm gonna numb you up real quick, and I'm about to do some surgery. All right. Ahem, ahem. Let me clear my throat. Okay, you see the Akai logo. Follow my mouse. The Akai logo is at the top left of the screen. On the top right, you see the MPK Mini. That's what you're looking at. Now, I want to encourage you that if you have not seen the original MPK Mini editor video on my page, go watch that first and then come back and watch this, because I'm going to be lightly going over some of the stuff in the original editor, because basically the software is the same. This is basically the same, but there's a couple new bells and whistles that were added, and there are a couple bells and whistles that were taken away from the older one. So watch that video first, even if you have an MK2. Alright? If you only have an Akai MPK Mini, you don't have the MK2, you don't even need to watch this video. Just go watch the other one, and you should be straight. Just to give you guys a real quick disclaimer, this software does not make any sound. So if you bought your Mini and you put this software on and you thinking that you're about to be Dr. Dre, you're about to get a rude awakening, a very, very rude awakening. It's like when your mom comes in with an ice cold bucket of water while you sleep, and she just douse it on your face, full blast on 100, level 100, splash, ice and everything, just busting you in the face. That's your rude awakening right now. This does not make any sound. This software is solely for the purpose of programming the brain of your Mini. Alright, I'm going to do a separate video for updating the firmware. If you know what firmware is, cool. If you don't worry about it right now. If you need to wipe your Akai MPK Mini, that firmware video will be for you, because sometimes people do so much editing with the Akai MPK Mini software that they end up forgetting the functions that they programmed in, or they mess up. If you use Ableton and you're toggling in between loops and stuff like that, and you're messing around with this editor, and then you mess your programs up, first of all, I'm sorry. And then second of all, you need to update the firmware to get back to the original. Or just update your firmware. There's a couple other things you could do, but you need to update the firmware. And so if you go to akaipro.com and do a search for the firmware, you should be able to find it and download it. But I'm going to do a video for that for you guys that need a little bit more help. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people need a visual. Some people learn by seeing. Some people learn by touching. Some people learn by reading. So it's some people are audible. So I'll do a video for updating the firmware as well with that. I was gonna do it with this video, but I figured that would be way that'll be way, you know what I'm saying, way too much. That's way. Alright, so I know you guys want me to get started. I was just trying to wait to see if any people were going to matriculate into the chat box. Looks like nobody wants to talk to me right now. That's okay. You don't have to be my friends. No, hilarious. Alright, so now that I've given you all the disclaimers, maybe there's some more disclaimers. Don't go messing around with this if you don't know what you're doing, because you can mess your Mini up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And the Mini is one of the lower tiered as far as pricing MIDI controllers, but it's not cheap. Don't mess your Mini up just doing some random stuff, trying to, and I know I'm sounding like your dad right now. Apologies if I sound like your dad, but I'm trying to help you out, really. If you really get it, like your dad would say, I'm trying to help you, I'm not trying to hurt you. Alright, so this gonna hurt me? No, this gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. Let me stop playing. Alright, so pointed out the Akai logo, pointed out the MPK logo. Want to get you guys acclimated to the screen first. Now, you see the joystick? It corresponds with the location of the joystick on the Mini itself. And you can see in the outline of the screen itself, it kind of looks like the Mini. Not totally, just in an obscure alien, higher life force, intelligent type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I was the Predator and I came and I looked at a Mini and then I scanned it with my super intelligent laser scanner. This is what it would look like. So we're looking at the brains. We're looking at the internal operation of the unit itself. Okay, so being that you understand that, and I'm just on the joystick right now. Okay, I'm just talking about the joystick. I haven't went anywhere yet. So if it's getting a little bit too deep for you, you might want to pause the video. And then come back, because I'm about to go all the way in, and I hope that you're ready. Because if you ain't ready, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So it looks like the stream is going good. Looks like everything is happy. Alright, so when you look at the screen, you see the joystick is in the same position as the joystick on the Akai MPK Mini. And under the joystick, you have X-axis, Y-axis. I'll go over that. The next menu, you have program 1 through 4. You have send to RAM. You have bank A. You have bank B. You got the knobs. You have the keys. And then you have the Arpeggiator. Right? Did I say that right for you trolls? Alright, cool. So now, where do we start? Do we start on the pads? Do we start on the knobs? Do we start on the ARP? Do we start on the RAM? What do we do? I'm going to go ahead and start with the joystick, because that's the thing that stands out. This little guy, alright? He's the most fun part of the machine, because he controls the pitch bend and the Y-axis. He controls the X and the Y-axis. So now, why is the X and the Y-axis important? The X and the Y-axis comes into play in any, I would say, VST that you would use, any sound or synth that you would use, and even in some samplers. If you're using something like Contact is a beast, and so you can bend samples, you can stretch the time on samples and stuff, and so the joystick could really be a key in achieving just this crazy sound that you're trying to achieve. So that's why the X and the Y axis is important. Alright, here's where we start to go in really deep. Okay, so hopefully you guys can keep up. Okay, so in the Y axis field, you see pitch bend. Click on pitch bend and you get two other options. You get CC1, CC2. CC is the control change, and it basically tells the editor and the program that you're using what number on the control change map that you want to communicate through. It's kind of like if you are talking to someone on a walkie-talkie, and maybe that's beyond you guys because you're mostly millennials. Well, my age range in my viewers is like 18 to 35, so you guys probably know. It's kind of like a Bluetooth signal. Okay, so each control channel has its own signal, just like a Bluetooth. So if one phone and one headset has one signal, you can't nope, that doesn't compute. How would I break that down? One channel per control. That's basically what it means. Okay, now you can connect two different, you can connect a pad and the joystick onto the same channel, but that wouldn't be very good. It wouldn't help you unless, and I may be going too deep, you could put the joystick onto a control channel and then put the cutoff on a pad, and then be tweaking the pitch bend or something, and then just cut the signal off in the middle and do like a muting thing, like a scratching sound, or like a wiki with a pause on it. So that's cool, but the control channel basically tells the MIDI what channel it's on, and it corresponds, and everything on the Mini dealing with the pads, the joystick, and the knobs have a control channel function. Alright, control channel always coincides with the pad controls on the MIDI, The button in the middle is the control channel button. When you hit that, the MIDI automatically switches into control channel mode. So keep in mind that the control channel that you have set will automatically switch to that when you turn control channel mode on. Alright, so with pitch bend, I'm still on the joystick. You guys better get ready. We're going all the way there. So I hope y'all ready to go all the way there. Alright, so if you put it on control channel 1, you get the left right axis, and then you can set up how many octaves that you want it to go up and down. For my own personal taste, I keep it on pitch bend because I use the VST's options of how high and low I want to go. So it's just on default when you put it on pitch bend. But if you put it on control channel 1, you can control both. Okay, both ways. I also like to use control channel 2 because you can control how high or how low of an octave you go when you push it left, and how many octaves you go up when you push it right. That's a little bit more technical, but it's definitely something that you can do. Okay, y-axis, same thing. You can set it up for either or. Y-axis goes up and down, but you can still set it as a pitch bend, even though pitch bend is usually left and right. Sometimes when you're using like an oxygen or something like that, they have like those control wheels, and both of them go up and down. So it's all a matter of taste. You know what I'm saying? It's all a matter of choice, what you want. And so the y-axis can also be edited to, you know, how many octaves you go up and down. But it's usually like a wobble or something that's added. Most of the effects in these VSTs already have some type of preset function that it does when you start dabbling into the y-axis. So just tweak around with it and you'll figure it out. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go into the pads next, because a lot of this other stuff is like super deep, and I don't want you guys to get confused. Don't get confused. Alright, so if you watched the other video, you have a pretty good grasp on what's going on here. If you haven't, then you might want to go back. So looking at pad 1, which corresponds with this pad right here, okay, you have note, and then it has 2 different fields for note. Then you have the control change, which I pointed out. Then you have program change and a field there, and then you have toggle. All right, so now with the note and the other field, which has a number, that's merely the MIDI signal that'll send from the MIDI, okay, from the MIDI Akai MPK Mini. So for you guys that like to edit and tweak what you want, you can make each one of these pads do something totally different. I met a homie at the Hypebot event at there's a bar in Wicker Park here in Chicago that has like 2 rooms of video games, wall to wall. It's crazy. But Hypebot.com had an event there, and I met a guy who actually does a light show while he's DJing, and he controls the lights that are behind him with a MIDI controller. I don't think he uses the Mini, but it's really dope that he could tweak that, and he controls like different designs of lights and stuff by the press of a button, and that's really cool. But anyways, so each one of these pads can have a different function. You could control anything from like a smoke machine to lights to just a simple note on your VST. So keep in mind that MIDI, welcome to MIDI 2, by the way. MIDI can go far beyond just triggering a sound now. MIDI can trigger video. You know what I'm saying? It can trigger a video loop, you know, or anything. So just keep in mind that you're tweaking signals when you're inside of this editor with these pads. All right, so control function and program function are for you Ableton users. Ableton has a ability, and there's a couple other programs that don't come to mind right now, but programs that have the option to set up loops and have program changes. Program changes, basically, you would look at it as like if you set up a beat to play a pattern, and then you set up a different pattern in a different program, and you're playing one, but you wanted to play the second one in the queue, you would just click on that program change button that's synced to that particular program, and then it will trigger that, and then you'll play one loop, and then it will go into the next one. It's really technical, but you know, if you're one of those Ableton guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't use Ableton, don't mess around with the program change, and I would really advise you not to work with the control change either. But dig deep into Ableton, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. You can sync these pads to anything, man. So toggle works with the control change and the program change as well. You can put it on momentary, or you can put it on toggle. I keep mine on toggle because sometimes I use it in VSTs. Oh, I'm sorry, really quick, go back to program change. Everything program change corresponds with the pad controls button program change. So hopefully you guys can see that on the mini. It's right here. Alright. So you got program change, you got control change. Sorry about that. And so you can put it on toggle. I keep mine on toggle because when I'm in a VST and then I hit the control change button, I can switch through the sounds with the pads. So that's something that I do. You can set it up to do something totally different. It's up to you. You know, whatever floats your boat and whatever rocks your socks. So now that you know that each pad can control whatever note that you want and whatever thing that you want, you may have, I don't know, robot in your sister's room that you want to pull the blanket off of her when she falls asleep, and then you just hit a button on your mini and it sends a Wi-Fi signal to your satellite, and then the satellite shoots it down to the robot through a Wi-Fi signal, and then you hear her like, oh my god, and you know it's good. I'd be silly anyway. So yeah, pads can do whatever you want. You have the option of switching in between bank A and bank B with the bank A and bank B button. If you're not familiar with that, go back and watch a couple of my other videos, and then you'll figure out what's good. Okay, so now we got bank A, bank B down. All the pads are totally editable, and for you guys who want to put the pads on play, the big question: how do I put drums on the pads, and how do I play keys from the keys? You merely do that below the pads here where it says pad MIDI channel, and you see key bed controls MIDI channel. Change the pad MIDI channel field to whatever you want. I keep mine on 10 usually. Let me see on program 2. Program 2, I'll press get. I missed a major thing before I started this video, and it's going to remind me right now. Give me a second. It's always good you have trial and error. Make sure you go to device setup before you start doing anything. That's what I forgot to do. So you'll go to options at the top of the screen, click device setup. You want to highlight the input and the output as the Akai MPK mini, press apply and OK. I forgot to do that. Good that it came up. All right, cool. Now the mini and the program are talking to each other. My bad. I was trying to get all deep and I messed up, and I missed a major function, whatever. All right, so cool. If you want your pads to trigger drum sounds on a different channel, MIDI 1 standard default is drums on channel 10. Alright, Just keep that in mind. You could put your drums on channel 16 if you want to. It don't matter. But usually in drum VSTs, you're going to find your drums on channel 10. Alright, so I'm going to get program 2. Yeah, I got my drums on channel 10. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that program 2 is standard MPC pads. Alright, let me go back to program 1. Cool. So you see me pressing these little buttons over here. So I'm going to go ahead to the program setting. Go back and watch my videos to figure out what the program select button does. Alright, so we're in the program. Basically what program send and get does is it sends your current settings. When you put something here, everything that's here, when you press send, will go to the MIDI, and it will write it on the brain of the MIDI, and it will never forget it until you change it again. So again, don't be tweaking around with it if you don't know what you're doing, because you can, you know, really send your signals way off the grid, and your VSTs and your DAWs will be unplayable because you've messed it up so bad. But you can always default, and I'll do a firmware video, a firmware update, and you can always get that from akaipro.com. Alright, so this will get the current programs and settings on the MIDI, so you can double check stuff and be like, man, what do I have on program 1? What do I have on program 3? Press get, and it will automatically copulate everything on the knobs and the keys from what the MIDI has into the screen so that you can see it. Alright, you can tweak it and then send it back. Alright, so the MIDI has RAM, and that's where the firmware goes. Don't be tweaking around with this button. Don't be updating the RAM and then unplug your MIDI. Don't be messing with this button unless you know what you're doing, okay? Leave it alone until you see my next video. Alright, so boom. And it may be 2 videos down the line, I don't know. If I get a request for it, I'll do it quicker. But leave the RAM button alone. So I went over the MIDI channels. You can put your drums and your keys on separate channels. Alright, let me go into the knobs. Knobs are much like the pads in that you can control channel, but they have a high and a low frequency because you can rotate them from left to right. So what are the knobs for? We know that the pads are for drums, and we know that the pads are for also keys and notes that we can play. But what are these pads for? These pads are basically for values, and they send values. They send values as MIDI notes, but it's more of a value that is on a frequency range that changes from 0 all the way up to 127. 127 is the highest, okay? So I'm pretty sure you can't go beyond that, and it will automatically acclimate itself to your VST. If your VST has a higher value than 127, which I haven't seen that in any MIDI compliant device, any DAW, any VST, any keyboard workstation from Korg all the way down to Roland, all the way down to I don't want to say down to, because you know all of these are really great. Yamaha Motif, all of them are great, not to downgrade, but just through the line of, you know, really great audio workstations, all of them go up to 127, but some of them don't. I know that Korg has a really wide range for tweaking, and so I don't want to limit you guys and say, oh yeah, you know, 127 is the highest, but I haven't seen it. Okay, so it sends these values as you're turning the knob. Okay, lowest being 0, highest being 127. You can tweak it for a tinier range. You can go from 40 to 60 if you want, and that could be controlling a pan from left to right. And then you could also tweak your VST to say, hey, you're getting 40 to 60, but I want you to receive 1 to 126, and it'll automatically acclimate itself to have that tiny tweaked 40 to 60 range to give you a wider range on that 1 to 126 ring. So it's really just, you know, how you want to tweak your knobs. So don't be tweaking your knob around me. So yeah, make sure that when you are sending your control change signal, that it's on the particular control change that you want to tweak, or you're going to pull your hair out turning these knobs trying to figure out why it's not doing what you want it to do. A couple other things that you can do besides panning is set it to the modulation. You could set it to be a pitch bend just like the knobs. You could set it to be a wah-wah. You could set it to be a filter. You could set it to change the envelope of a wave. You could change the shape of a wave and make it a sine or a sawtooth wave. Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. You can do a bunch of different things with these knobs. Totally tweakable. As you be tweaking them when we be tweaking, tweakers. I'm gonna call you tweaker. No, on a serious tip. So that's what the knobs do. They only work with control change, which is good, because when you start putting program changes on these little tiny knobs and you mess around and you know you got them big sausage fingers that you got from your daddy, dropping grease all on your MIDI and stuff like that, slipping the knob too far to the right, you're going to go to, you know, program 127 by accident, and you really wanted to go to program 3. Well, I guess that was kind of like a nerdy joke. You had to be there. So knobs can be totally tweakable to any function, or any function. They can do any particular modulation that you want it to do, pending the way that you program your VST to receive the signals on the control channel that you designate in this particular software that goes inside of the MIDI itself. Alright, hopefully you got that. There's 8 tweakable knobs here on the screen, K1 all the way through K8. One thing that I want to recognize, okay, you got K1 through K8 on the MIDI as well. One thing I want you guys to recognize is about MIDI mapping. If you don't know about MIDI mapping, after watching this video, you might want to dig into it if you want to get into tweaking, because when you're tweaking these knobs, man, the world is just so huge. And some programs have a mini map already. They have an Akai MPK mini map built in, some don't. Some programs you'll have to build your own map. Some guys on the internet are so cool, they was like, hey, I built a map, go ahead and download it for free. Some maps have bugs, so I would be careful with what I download. But I would encourage you to build your own map at least one time for your MIDI in the program that you want to use, so that you have it and save it inside of I don't know, your hard drive, so that you can pull it up later. Unfortunately, if something bad happens to your MIDI or you get a new one, you always have your map. You take it and put it back into your Akai again. Alright, so I'm gonna go over the menu functions as well. So now we have the keys. So in the keys, you can set your transpose on the MIDI itself, or you can set it here. I'm sorry, you can set the octave on the MIDI, not the transpose. You set the transpose here, and it automatically writes to the brain of the MIDI. Looks like I'm getting an Instagram message. Just come to the channel, bro. I'm live right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, one love though, if you're watching the video as well. So yeah, you can set the transpose here, and it'll automatically tell the MIDI, yo, go to start at C2, start at C1, start at C3. All right, we're gonna go to the Arpeggiator, which is you trance DJs, dubstep, wub, 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 wub type cats, dubstep type cats. over there in Europe, you know what I'm saying? Dropping them just crazy, nasty, distorted bass. I love that stuff, man. I love it. Um, the Arpeggiator is dope for all of that different type stuff, and it's really a dope brain inside. It's like a brain inside of the brain in the MIDI, in Akai MPK MIDI. So you have your tempo. Mine I have programmed to set to 128. I don't know why. I think that was the last one I typed out for a VST that I was in on that GarageBand late night video that I did the other day. If you saw that, cool. If you didn't, it's cool. If I snatch program 1, you'll see that the Mini has tempo 120 standard. Most VSTs, most DAWs, some are 140, but most workstations have it set at tempo 120. You can change the internal tempo on the particular program that you're working with. Watch my other video, and then you'll get what I'm talking about. You can write that to the MIDI, and it'll be default. As soon as you pull up the program, the current program, you'll have that tempo. All right. So the quantize or time division in the next field for the note repeat and the arpeggiator function is here. You can set it from 1/4 all the way to 1/32 triplets. I'm glad that it doesn't do 1/64 triplets or even 128th notes or even 164th note triplets. That's insanely insane. Although I love the people at Akai and I love what they do, that would be crazy. I'm glad that they keep it simple. Alright, that standard Akai MPC swing is already programmed in. This also corresponds with the menu above the keys on the Mini. So you can throw that swing on what you're playing. Make sure that when you're playing it though, inside your DAW or whatever you're playing or recording in, that the swing corresponds with the swing inside of the MIDI, because it's not going to record that swing. It's going to automatically snatch those notes and put them on point, unless you play with the quantize off. Because them guys, they, you know, I'm not one of those guys. I like quantize, but guys that play without quantize, they like that super hard swing on the beats, and it just gives it a certain sound. Alright, the octave on the arpeggiator goes up, goes down. You can play the notes inclusive and exclusive inside of the octave that you're playing, or you can even make it go up 3 octaves. And watch my arpeggiator video to get what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is the arpeggiator mode. I was talking about the inclusive and exclusive notes. When you're playing the notes down, no matter what chord you press, it'll play each note going down. Exclusive, it will play only the notes that you hold down. Inclusive, it will play every note in between on that particular chord. You can also set chords. You can play the notes in order, and you can play random notes, okay? So if you put inclusive, you could press 2 keys and it will play every note inside of that. Latch. Latch will hold the notes playing that you press when you press your latch button. You can put this default on and default off. I would leave it off until you need it, okay? If you like your latch on, cool. I keep my latch off. I only put my latch on when I need it, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be walking around with your latch on. Alright, so you can turn your arpeggiator on or off here, of course. You can also turn it on or off here with the Mini. Tap your tempo out. Alright. You can set your tempo taps. I keep mine on 3 just because of the simple fact that, you know, if I'm tapping the tempo out on a sample or something like that, I know on the 3rd hit it's going to be roundabout right. You can put it all the way up to 4 tempo taps if you want. Alright. New function. They've added external clock, which is cool. The Mini will sync to your DAW. They didn't have that on the other one. They didn't have the little red joystick on the other one, and so that's a cool little thing that they added. Alright, let me check my chat and see if I got anybody trying to holler at me. Everything's all gravy train with biscuit wheels. Alright, cool. So since I went over everything inside of the MPK Mini MK2 editor, I'm going to go over a couple of the menu functions. I'm using a Mac, so if you're using Windows, it may be a little different, but it's the same in essence. You can open a couple different windows. You can save a setting. and save it as a file. That's why I was saying, if you map something out, put it on your hard drive, keep it. I would advise you, if you haven't saved anything yet, take the default one after you first plug it up, save a setting, put it on your hard drive, just keep it, just in case if you start tweaking around with this and then you mess something up. And then you can always come and just load it back up and then send back to the Mini. Alright, this send hardware button, and save as is just, you know, a copy or a different name. Send to hardware is the same as these buttons over here. You can send to or get from whatever program at any given time. You may want to go in there and just tweak one pad or something, and you can get it or send it back to the Mini. It's really user friendly in that right. You can copy a program, you can paste a program. Alright, cool. You can auto populate the Mini, pull all the information from the machine. Of course, device setup, I went over that already, and this is a Mac, so you can minimize, bring everything to the front or whatever. So I basically went over all the function of the Mini. Again, you can't get any sound from this thing, so don't be trying to get sound from this, because it's not going to work. That's pretty much everything. If you watch the unboxing, you know that this thing feels like a toy. It's very lightweight, but after looking at this video, you'll see that it's very, very complex. It's a monster, and it's a beast of a machine, and it has very, very intricate programming. And once you understand everything that I went over in this particular video about the Mini, then you will understand that this thing is a lot more powerful than it looks. And the reason why I had to get the red one is just so pretty. It's so gorgeous. I love it. Thank you for making a red and black MPK Mini Akai. I love this thing. It just looks a certain type of way when you pull it on. People are like, oh, that's nice. Just a nice little showpiece or whatever. Good conversation piece with other engineers and beat makers. Because, you know, guys, there's so many different controllers out now. This is one of the smaller ones. But it's just, man, it's so beastly. They have so many different ones coming out. And a lot of them I've seen have copied the original design of the MPK, the original one. But when they came out with the MK2, they just dropped a beastly atom hydrogen / nuclear bomb on them. Alright, so looks like there's nobody in the chat. And maybe there's a question on Instagram. I'm gonna hold this open just a couple more minutes to see if anybody is trying to holler at me and ask a quick question. Looks like somebody trying to advertise their website. That's cool. You see some of the biggest brands advertising on your Instagram. Sometimes it's like, really? But yes, cool. Just send a check. Alright. No, that's pretty much everything for this video, guys. Again, I just dropped a single, Chicken in That Bread. Go and grab that. Make sure you click on the advertiser links on my videos and watch the video commercials at the beginning in their entirety. That would be awesome, but that's solely your preference. Really helps a lot. Please hit the like button. Alright, that sends me up the charts. Hit the like button, comment, questions, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also hit the what is that button called when you get updates? Hit the reminder button. It's like a little bell next to my videos. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember what that thing is called, but when you go to a page, I'm gonna find it real quick just so you guys know, just so you know. When you know, you know. It doesn't have a name. It's just a little bell next to the subscribe button. Just hit that little bell and get auto notifications when I drop a video. Alright, so that's pretty much everything, man. That's everything, man. Went over everything, man. So yeah, trying to make sure that I went over everything. 45-minute video. That's pretty cool. Joystick, programs, bank A, bank B. I didn't go over the program select, which I had sent you to the other videos. Yeah, it's cool. Program select is a little deep. And went over the knobs, keys, arpeggiator, octaves. You guys are good to go. Went over the swing, went over the ARP functions, went over the quantized functions. Yes, everything's good. Knobs K through 8, panning, modulation, frequency. We are good to go. So yeah, make sure you guys refer to other people to this video if they got a Akai MPK Mini. Really helps out a lot, man. This thing is really confusing when you first get one if you don't know anything about MIDI 1, much less MIDI 2. Control changes, program changes, values, note values, and all of this stuff is just so confusing to people. So I just try to break it down in a very simple way so that people can get it. They can set it and forget it. Clap on, clap off. So we're good to go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching another video. I'm so grateful. Thank you for subscribing again. Trying to hit my thousandth subscriber. I just hit 600 this week, and I'm gonna think of something big to give my 1000th subscriber. And if you guys can help me out with that, drop a comment. Alright, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Tonight I'll most likely be dropping a beat making video, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Alright, let's get it. Bro, love music. Follow my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All of that stuff's in the top right hand of the screen that you're looking at right now. And yeah, very appreciative of you guys, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, peace and love.